Hey, it's Rick here with your market recap for Friday, September the 9th. As you can see, substantial improvement in the risk model, particularly with the S&P. It's now trading above its 21-day and 50-day moving averages. And the moving averages themselves have moved from trending down to sideways. So significant improvement there. The Qs improved also there. The 21-day and 50-day moving averages are still slightly down, but price is just touching it, as we'll shortly see in the charts. All the indexes were up around 2% today. Even Toronto was up 1.9%. The other interesting thing about today is I track all the a watch list of all of the sectors, and it's just a sea of green, which is, you don't see this very often. And this indicates to me this rally today was very broad-based across every sector. So this suggests to me there's more legs in this move. You can see the Canadian ones are here at the top. Bitcoin had a massive day today, up 10%. And the Canadian banks again had a pretty good day. Oil was up, but it's just a wall of green, as you can see all the way down the page. The only thing that was down was the US dollar. And as the US dollar goes down, that's generally a good thing for the markets. So that's encouraging. So let's look at the individual charts. We'll start with the small caps. Ooh, charts are slow today. Okay, what's happening? Here we go. Small caps closed above the 50-day moving average, 3 strong days up. The mid caps, this is the one where I've drawn my, wow, it's slow. This is the one I've drawn my vision tools. This is kind of what I expected or thought might happen. But today was even stronger than I had expected. Here I've drawn a trend line connecting the low from June 17th through another low on July 15th, and then the low of last week on September the 6th. And if my premise holds true, we come up here and we do come back here, right about here. If we come back, I'll be 100% cash. By the way, I'm still in my sector and index portfolios, I'm 100% cash, but my stock portfolio is now 80% invested, and I'll review those positions in a minute or two. But anyway, if we turn back here, I'll be 100% cash. And then as we get down here, this will be an interesting spot. If we hit here, this trend line, and then bounce back up, I'm going to get uber aggressive. And I may start loading up on the index and sector funds as well. If on the other hand, it rolls over, I'll still be 100% cash. So just wait and wait. And if we just completely ignore this part and just keep on going, I'm going to have to wait for a pullback. I'm going to pay for some other entry because we still got to get across this 200-day moving average. So it's we don't predict, we don't guess what's going to happen, really. We basically just follow, but it is a good idea to have sort of alternate plans just in case various scenarios happen. QQQ, same story. Wow, charts. Oh, there we go. Came right to the 50-day moving average and is holding here. So we'll be interesting to see on Monday whether we can plow right through it, as we do with this S&P. You can see there's the 50 and it plowed right through it. We still have this box that I drew in here, which is overhead supply between the 50 and the 200. So that's going to could make a little pause or some jiggling around in here. We get through that, of course, we have here, and then we have another layer of supply up in here. So we're not out of the woods yet. It's not time to get super aggressive from an overall market perspective. As far as individual stocks, my positions are holding up quite well. Well, if we can get to see them on the charts. Huh. There we go. I may have to pause this video and log out and log back in, but we'll bear through it here for a second. So ARLP is a little disappointing. It hasn't done anything wrong, but it hasn't really participated in this last 2-3 day rally. So odds are favoring that this is going to shake me out below 24.36 where my stop is. So we'll see on that one. ASIE. Yesterday, I put a chicken shit stop in at my break-even point before I headed to the golf course. Sure enough, I got taken out for a loss of 1 penny. But I re-entered it again today. This is still but only at half the size that I took previously. This is really an anticipatory entry where I'm anticipating a break above 1865, which would be the logical place to place an order. But I'm trying to sneak in a few extra pennies, which is not necessarily a very good thing to do. Enphase had an interesting day. This one, if the chart ever comes up. Oh, crap. Here we go. Recall I bought this at 284 down here, peeled some off here, peeled another bit off here, and kept a quarter of my position with a stop 8% below the high, which coincided with the 8-day moving average. This shows up better on a 15-minute chart. Apparently last night, Credit Suisse issued a downgrade on ENPH from, I don't know, from buy to hold or hold. I don't even matter what the downgrade was. And it had that initial whoosh down, that reaction. I'm suspicious about these analyst downgrades. My theory is that Credit Suisse didn't buy enough stock when it was in this lovely base here. There's no reason to downgrade this stock based on its earnings. It's estimated earnings going forward, the chart pattern, all the rest of it. So my guess is they didn't buy enough stock when it was in here, saw that it ran up out of this box a couple of days ago, ran up again yesterday, and they were worried it was going to keep on running and they wouldn't be able to buy anymore at a cheap price. So they had their analyst department issue a negative downgrade, and sure enough, whoosh. And I'm suspecting they then bought all the stock they needed from the scared retail investors that pay attention to downgrades. So I don't know, that's my theory. Anyway, I got stopped out of this at 298, watched it for a little bit and then said, you know what, this is not going any lower. This 5-day moving average, which I talked about a couple of days ago, is a very important indicator. And so I ended up buying it back at 296 and change, and I'm still having. Now, I only bought a quarter position instead of a full position because I don't have strong conviction in this yet, but I will be looking to add to this. EVH, another good day. Oops, we're on the 15-minute chart. For some reason, it's my daily charts that are not updating. Had another good day again, up to a new all-time high. It's still in line with what I drew out the other day. I'm hoping it'll go sideways a little bit, get up a little more pent-up energy, and then blast through for some more gains. But I'll take what I'm given. Global partners. I apologize for this. Still doing nothing wrong. It's sort of wedging up. It's nice and tight in here. This generally means that the next explosive move comes in the direction that it's been from the past. So this could have another explosive move sometime next week. Let's hope so. HAE again had a great day. If we see a chart, it did actually break these highs here by I think a penny or 2 pennies, but it didn't trigger any panicky buying, and actually settled back a little bit. So it's going to need another couple of sideways days here, and then hopefully we'll rip through that. I'm in from way down here at $73. So I'm in really good shape here. I've raised my stop up into about this region here underneath the 8-day moving average. I did take one new position today, which was on my 10 stocks to buy watch list from last week. It's fantastic fundamentals. It's a liquid natural gas production company. Again, they had a downgrade for whatever reason, I don't know. In a very strong pattern here. Again, this shows up better on a 15-minute chart. So I had the downgrade, so immediately right off the get-go, it sold right down. So a lot of panicky people. Again, this 5-day moving average showed me as some good support. I put a buy stop order in here at 56.76, I think it was, and riding it up. And now this is a little disconcerting in the last half hour of the day. I was up 2-to-1 on this one at one point. So I'll probably raise my stop to break even on Monday morning. So that's it for the market in general. I'm thinking of a couple of videos that may help the team. One is some thoughts rolling around the index buying versus mutual fund buying. And then a really important topic, which is what I consider the holy grail of successful investing, and that is position sizing and risk management. So I'm trying to gather some thoughts on that. If I get time over the weekend, I'll try and put together a video on either one or both of those topics. So that's it. Have a great weekend, everybody, and see you again soon.